they released a statement, not to the press, of course, but to, you know, relevant people like Geffen, etc. As long as Nirvana is unmanageable, we're not going to manage them. Well, I know bands with way bigger drug addicts than my husband in them that are huge bands. No one's dropping them. You know, I think we're going out to pull this whole righteous bullshit attitude. We've got to live. There's always drama. Well, you know, little people, little problems. Big people, big problems. So I'm on his side with this. He shouldn't have to go to rehab to prove to Gold Mountain that he's a good little boy. You know, I tried to get this dealer busted, and I'm dealing with a Detective Terry in Seattle Narcotics. You know, and that's what his talent is. But socially, he doesn't have one friend. So, I mean, you know, I always see on TV where the woman comes in and she's like, there's no way he could have run off with a woman, or there's no way he could have killed himself. I'm telling you, he has no friends.
BEF 042.
And what you were just saying about, for instance, calling Detective Terry and stuff, yeah, I mean, if me and Kurt got into a divorce and it came down to a custody battle, I'd win in a second. He wouldn't even put up a fight, because obviously his child doesn't mean enough to him to stay in the rehab.
BEF 065.
And maybe the responsibility of being a father and a husband are things that he needs to work on. If he wants to separate and that's going to make him happy, I mean, hell, this year alone, we don't even need to separate. He's supposed to do, you know, Lollapalooza for 4 months of the year, and I'm supposed to be touring 9 months of the year. So this is our first year that we're actually going to be separated for any length of time.
BEF 081 through 085.
And he set you up. It's really easy. They're tiny, so it's the size of a nickel. All right. Would you put it like where her phone is? I'm gonna give you $500 to do this. Okay. And Larry, you have to swear to me you're never gonna tell a fucking soul.
Swear to God.
Swear to God.
I'm very good at this.
Do you understand my motivation? I don't want to bust her. I don't want to bust him. I just want to find out where the fuck he is, that he's safe, and like, if he's off, like, you know, getting your shit together, detoxing, writing, you know, whatever, and like trying to make a big change in his life, that's fine. If he wants a divorce, that's fine. You know, whatever's going to make him happy, that's what I want. If I decide this is the thing to do, I want you to do it for me. I want you to do it tonight or tomorrow, okay? And I'm going to have this guy get in touch with you, and it's not like a cop thing, okay? It's nothing to do with the cops. It's like a private thing, okay? So you'd be willing to do that without saying a goddamn word to anybody, okay?
Well,
because if Caitlin, okay, for instance, one thing, if she, even if Kurt's really fucked up, he's never fucked around on me. If he's fucking her, which I doubt, because she's such a skank, and all you gotta do is stick, where's her phone? In the living room or the bedroom? Okay, well, there's two options. One is there's these things you can stick on the phone so that her phone could be bugged, and the other thing is to stick it in her house. So I need to talk and make a decision about this, but, I mean, by midnight tonight I'm going to know if Kurt's in town. And if he's not in town, then forget it. You know, you're still getting, I mean, we're still getting $250,000 each for our publishing. You know, I mean, I've got a life to live. My band, you know, we've got a fucking Rolling Stone cover. You know, I mean, yeah, I mean, how cool is that? And they did read for the whole band for Rolling Stone. So, you know, I mean, you know, we're going to go in the top 10, and things are going to fucking look up. I can't let Kurt, they'll pull me down, but I've got to know what he's doing, because with Kurt, he's like, yeah, well, fuck you. I don't even want to be in Nirvana. You know, I mean, if Kurt wants to turn his nose up at $9.5 million at Lollapalooza, when we could have fucking played Lollapalooza and gotten a cut, and at least come home with $300,000 or $400,000, that's the part that pisses me off. Is he's fucked up our politics, you know, and this includes your sister, so bad that, like, you know, we won't get Lollapalooza even next year, even if we sell 2 million, you know, because Kurt's fucking pulling out. Right. Okay, so if this happens tonight, it's going to be late, but you call her and you say you want $1,000 or whatever she's got left, and tell her if she calls for you tonight that you'll give her an extra, you know, if it's too late for it, you'll give her an extra $60, $70 or something, and I'll either wire it to her or someone will give it to you okay? And Larry, I have your word of honor on your mom Terry's grave. You're not gonna say a fucking word, right? You're on my side, right? All right, Larry, you totally have my respect. And I'll talk to you later. All right, not a fucking word, Larry, okay? Zip. All right, dude.
And,
You're the one that filed the missing persons report.
yeah, and I'll totally come forward with that because people wouldn't take me seriously.
Yeah. Courtney, when I was up there before, you said you were going to have Callie come up so I could talk to him, and that never happened.
I couldn't get him to do it for me.
What I want
to be in a junkie pig with that girl Kate.
What I'm getting at is talk isn't going to get us anyplace. I don't care if they promise to come or if you say you're going to get them down or anything.
I know, but if I get you the county coroner on the fucking phone right now.
But it's not going to mean a thing to me until they walk in the door. That's what I'm trying to say.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand. It's like little pieces of paper, and it says there were 3 or 4. I think there were 4.
Why would somebody tell you to get rid of that?
Because it wasn't really nice. They talked about getting a divorce.
I'd been making videos and doing the LA thing and the New York thing and being all glamorous, and meanwhile he'd been playing like Slavania, right? Yeah. And he got real depressed, and he wrote basically a suicide note. There's no real other way. He claims he was leaving me. And he left, and I had come down to LA with the baby to support him, and our nanny to support him. And when he left, I got very depressed, and had to be hospitalized for some sort of nervous breakdown. I can say that to them as a hospital worker. That way there's no drugs involved. Yeah. And, the sympathy goes to me, and Kurt doesn't get in any trouble because it looks like he's not supposed to be in rehab in the first place. Yeah. That he felt pressured, and so he jumped over the wall. All right? How's that first been? Then it appeared that I attempted suicide. But, I don't know. The press always perceives me as, completely tragic and fucked up anyway, and I have, a record coming out, so, selfishly, it might even help sell records.
My other concern, too, and you're in a better position to judge this than I am, but, could this cause a problem later on down the road if something ever does seriously go wrong or something happened to you and he thinks it's a trick again,
Well, I just won't tell him it's a trick ever. It's like one of those things, one hand washes the other.
Oh, you don't think he would ever find out that you never really were in the hospital?
No. No one will tell him. Okay. The people that, it's so unethical, but the people that I had do this, I paid.
Yeah.
BEF 180 and 196.
I don't know where the hell he is. He can't be in Seattle. He has 2 plane tickets. I just am curious if he bought a plane ticket for somebody else. And then I was figuring prices. Okay, he goes up to Seattle, he picks up his guitars, he flies to Atlanta, they're recording in Knoxville, so maybe there's no nonstop, and he goes to Knoxville, and then he goes back to Atlanta, and he buys maybe a round-trip ticket back to Seattle. That's all I can think of. And tomorrow, you can definitely find out through Delta, right, you think?
BEF 198.
How much do you want to give me as a retainer?
How much would you like? I'm going to be here all week, so why don't we start out with what you did times 3.
Okay.
And then, or times 4. And then we can go on from there.
Okay.
Money's not a problem. Money is a problem. If we get a divorce and I don't have my publishing deal, money will be a problem, but that's not going to happen for quite some time.
BEF 202.
And then I was able to actually talk to him and go, Kurt, I love you. I'm going to support whatever you do. If you don't want to do Lollapalooza, fine. I could have done Lollapalooza this year, but I can't go on tour with Kurt because everyone will say, oh, he got it for her. But I was offered it first. So, I don't know. It's ridiculous. And I mean, I'm certainly not going to. You know, Kurt's got enough power that he'd be getting the back end. I mean, I'd come off a Lollapalooza with less than $100,000, but it would sell my record.
Yeah.
But I gave that up so that Kurt could go out and make like nearly $10 million. And now he's like fucking that up.
BEF211.
But the thing about Kurt is he can't get a cab for himself.
Yeah, we were both a little surprised when you said, you know, you canceled his credit card, so he's without money. It's just he can't figure out how to get money if he doesn't have his credit cards.
No.
He doesn't have his own bank account.
No, we have the same bank account.
Yeah.
And I canceled the Excel card. But maybe I shouldn't have done that, so I could have kept track of him.